Hello, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about fulfillment and the empty feeling humans feel on a daily basis. What do you do with that empty feeling? What is going on? You don't know what is going on. Most people try to fill the empty void, the empty feeling, with food, with validation from the opposite sex, entertainment, with all sorts of things, drugs, distractions. But you cannot get rid of the emptiness, of the empty feeling. Why is this? Why? What are you doing here? What's my purpose? Is this life? Is this all? My answer is no, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Feeling empty is the normal human condition. It is the game of life. Feeling empty is how the game starts. You are born helpless, and like a little powerless infant, you are powerless, helpless, and you are dependent on your outside world. This is not a mistake. This is no accident. Because that moment that you are born, you are programmed that you are powerless, helpless, and you need others for survival. You are heavily programmed because of the first fear of survival, of death, the fear of death. So that is programmed right at birth. You bury your authentic self-expression to please your caregivers, because otherwise you won't survive. You won't survive anything. So you bury away the parts of yourself, your shadow, that the others don't approve of, and that's when you lose yourself, your true self. Alright? So the empty feeling arises very quickly in a human life, like it's supposed to. You have an empty feeling. Now, what do you do with that empty feeling? You try to discover your authentic self back. You try to discover who you truly were, what your passions are, what you came to do on this earth. Because everyone comes here with an authentic blueprint. They come here with a purpose, a specific purpose, and they come here with specific talents. And the purpose and talents you have are part of your blueprint. Just like building a home, you have a human blueprint. Your avatar is a blueprint. And you can retrieve that blueprint. But when you are so afraid of your external circumstances and you still need external validation, you live in fear. What are the characteristics of someone who feels empty inside? You can recognize anyone feeling empty inside because of these things. These characteristics may show you that someone is feeling that empty hole inside, and it may be you, because that's the normal human condition. Someone with a very black hole inside of them need to suck energy from the external circumstances because they don't know who they are. They suck energy from others, from circumstances, because they need it for survival. They think they need it for survival because the true self is just gone. The true self has just been disowned at this point. So I call this black hole beings. Black hole beings are beings that need your energy for survival. Literally, they need your personality, your authentic self-expression. They copy your creations. They don't have a mind of their own. They are just empty inside, empty, and they suck your energy. They are empty vessels. Some of those are so far ahead, so empty, that there isn't a self anymore. There's no authentic self left. It's just no soul in there, nothing. Avoid those people. Those are robotic people. Those are robots. We also call them narcissists in this day and age. It's a very popular term. But narcissists are truly black hole beings and psychopaths. They do have a self, but it's so deeply buried, they cannot retrieve it anymore in this life. So it's a very sad and empty existence. All right, how do you recognize those black hole beings? They always seek external validations. Their self-image is the most important thing in the world to them. How people perceive of them is the most important thing. because that is what gives them their validation, their energy. Because there is no self to begin with, they have lost themselves. They need people to approve of their image that they created artificially. And what comes to mind are celebrities. A lot of celebrities are very narcissistic, and they are black hole beings. Just for the fact that they create a completely artificial image, they disown their authentic self, they even disown their own bodies, and they artificially tweak their bodies towards a self-image that is very arbitrary. So you see this trend with plastic surgery. You see them altering their body to a specific way that is popular, that it will make them superior to others. Because the food, the lush, the energy they want is you feeling beneath them. They need to feel superior for their self-image, their false self-image, to be reinforced. They need to feel superior, so they do everything in their power to make the authentic selves feel inferior. So they have a superiority complex because of the black hole inside of them. They are always seeking lush energy from others, and specifically from beings that still have their light in them. So children still have their sense of self. Empathetic people still have their sense of self. They are loving people, very soft people, empathetic people are a great prey for the black hole beings, all right? Especially children, because they are very easy to manipulate. Children, protect your children, please, from these people. They need people and children to act inferior so they can reinforce their false self-image of superiority. Because deep down, their ego, their false self, feels so insecure, so fragile and vulnerable, that at any moment the egoic structure may collapse. So the false self inside the black hole being can collapse at any moment. That is why narcissists and psychopaths are so fearful all the time, because they know their self-image is based on an illusion. Their whole sense of self, their whole identity is fake and based on illusion. So anything that even comes close to attacking that self-image or challenging their belief systems or mental positions, for example, the ego gets very angry, frustrated, because you are threatening their false ego, their sense of self. So when someone likes to argue and be right all the time, that's their fragile ego fighting for existence. And it's fake, so deep down they know everything is fake. Who they think they are, it is fake. When someone challenges their ego, they will be so afraid, so scared, and they will instantly attack and put you down, because their ego is being attacked. You are trying to kill them in their view. You are trying to kill their false image. When you say to a narcissist, you are not that powerful, you are not that rich, they get so angry. They get so attacked. They get so insulted. Because you are literally killing them in their view. You are killing their false sense of self, which they base their whole life on. You are threatening their survival. Black hole beings or narcissistic people or people without emotional intelligence do not know who they are. They don't know they are a conscious being. They don't know they aren't the material things. And they don't know what their authentic self-expression is, who they decided to be before coming in this place, and what their purpose is. They are completely empty. So that's a very sad and hard existence, and it creates a very low frequency of energy. They are only focused on 3D things. So they are only focused on three-dimensional things. People, material possessions, how they look, everything must be perfect. They created a whole image of perfection, and it's getting out of hand because social media has even furthered this false self-image, And everyone is faker than fake, faker than ever. And we can fake anything. They are focused mainly on external appearance. They are the mother that tells you you eat too much. They are the father that tells you you don't do enough, you aren't enough, you don't talk to the neighbors enough, you aren't social enough, you are just bad, you are just not perfect. You are not perfect when you don't adhere to society standards, and those standards are getting out of hand. They are getting out of hand. Just look at the plastic surgery that is being performed right now. It's $1 billion euro business. It makes so much money. The plastic surgery business has grown astronomically. And that is because of those people, that there's an army of those people convincing real people with a heart, real people, to buy into their standards. Because they feel so insecure, they have to have standards and they have to make it very expensive to achieve, and then they can feel superior. Then they can feel so superior to you because you are just a normal, fragile human being with emotions, and that's so weak, and they are just perfect and robotic, and they don't care about anything but their self-image. Those are black hole beings. Those are narcissistic people. Don't date them. Don't date narcissists. I'm warning you. Another rule, the more empty they are, the more toxic they become. When this black hole being decides to go out in the world, what does it do? It steals energy from you. It seeks external validation. It seeks to be superior to you. So it has to put others down by gossip, by lying, so much lying, because their whole life is a lie, because they are the mask they put up in the front of them. It's all a lie, and deeply, deeply empty and insecure they feel all the time. It's a very sad existence, very sad. Many empathetic people love to help others. So when they see someone like this, they initially try to help them. Then they realize that this being, if you're not spiritually strong, and if you have low self-esteem, you are a great prey for narcissistic people, for black hole beings, because they can put you down. They can make you their slaves, you know. Literally, they can make you their slaves that do their bidding. You can feel infinitely inferior to them all the time. You can boost their egos. They can use you for anything, and you are the source of their stability. You are what makes them feel good about themselves, and it completely drains you of your energy and of your authentic self, because you feel so empty in the presence of a black hole being, because it literally takes on your energy, your authentic self. It takes it away from you, because they are deep down so jealous, because you still have it. You still have that creative power. You still have that authentic expression. They are so jealous. They will destroy your life just because of their pettiness and their jealousy. Avoid those people. They are so fearful. They fear everything. They fear everything. Behind the mask, they fear not being relevant anymore. They fear losing popularity. They fear losing validation, because it's what makes them real. Their validation is the only thing that makes them true, real, that makes them worthy. You feeling down, others feeling not good enough, is their fuel. You being inferior to them is their fuel. So they will do anything to destroy you and to destroy your authentic self-expression and to disown your authentic self-expression, so you will lose yourself, so they will gain your validation to survive. It's very, very tricky. Those people are very tricky. You don't need anything from them. Avoid at all costs. Don't even interact with black hole beings. This is the root cause of anything that has to do with fear. the root cause, because they think they are separate entities. They created a whole false self. The ego is the false self. They identify so strongly with their possessions, their social role, their body, the material world in general. They identify so strongly with it that they are fearful it might collapse, because the material world 3D illusion is always changing. It is never stable. Everything that happens in 3D is unstable. So that makes, if you're identified with the 3D reality, when you think you are the 3D reality, you are the body will collapse eventually, will die eventually. It's a very unstable existence. So you die every moment, and you fear every moment, because every moment the 3D is changing and your body ages and your body collapses and your job might not be there anymore and your popularity fades and your beauty fades. So that's a great recipe for suffering. And they still keep doing it. They still keep chasing that validation and identifying with the material world, and everything is temporary in 3D. So your personality, your ego will die in 3D eventually. So when you come across a black hole being, they are very much status addicted. They are addicted to having a high status. They are addicted to attention. They are addicted to reinforcing their false self. I'm so good. Look at me. Look at my muscles. Look at my wealth. Look at my popularity. Look at my followers. They are so obsessed with this that they become like toxic balls of black holes. It can vary in degree. You can have all kinds of people, but the true cause of the dysfunction is always the black hole inside of them. And I'm going to tell you the cure for this, because anyone can be cured, even though therapists and others have tried. But anyone can be cured, maybe not in this life, but anyone can be cured in the next and the next and the next, because everyone is going through the game in this evolutionary game, and it's the human evolution and purpose to transcend the black holes, the limitation, and become enlightened. So very light, the sun. All right, then we go to fulfillment. Feeling fulfilled. What does someone look like when they are fulfilled? How do they behave? How do they act? First of all, a black hole being doesn't have empathy. It only has feelings for itself because it is constantly busy. It's too busy trying to survive. The false image of a black hole being is way too busy because it constantly needs to survive. It's trying to survive. It doesn't have time to care about others. It's a very hard existence. It's very sad. All right? Because of the connection with themselves, healthy beings have a little connection with their authentic self-expression. They have a connection with their emotions. They have connections with their true self, who they truly are, and that makes space for empathy. Because when you realize who you truly are, you see the other as yourself. So you become one with others. You have literally your neurons that are mirroring others that can make you feel the same as others. You can connect with others through your mirroring neurons. So it's not true that you are alone, because you have so much empathy and compassion for others. That makes you a fulfilled person. So empathy naturally arises when you are fulfilled to a certain degree. This person, this being, is interested in seeking self-love and the true self, not the fake self. You disregard the false self at all costs. You say, no, that's not who I am. I am not that material possession. I am not that job. I am not that occupation. I am not that car. I am not my popularity. I am not my followers. Discard the false self completely. Drop it. That's what an authentic person does. It transcends the fear of dying, the fear of their false self dying, and they become authentic. They are authentic. And they know themselves. If you drop the false self completely with its fears, the survival mechanism that is a false self that you needed to survive as a baby and a child, when you grow into adulthood, you completely drop the false self because it isn't needed anymore for your survival. It isn't needed because you can survive great on your own, and you just pretended to be someone you're not in order to get validation and food and shelter from your parents and the adults, because you were vulnerable back then. But now you're an adult and you can drop anything, any false self. It isn't necessary anymore, because when you keep attaching to the validation, yes, when you keep the false self in place, it will greatly destroy you. It will limit you, and you won't find who you are, and you will always feel that emptiness, because emptiness is transcended when you find your authentic self back. And doing what you love is a big part of that. Authentic persons, authentic beings know themselves and love themselves. They fall in love with who they are, with who they truly are, and they radically accept themselves and unconditionally love themselves. That's something you need to learn, because it's beaten out of us because of the social conditioning. You need to learn to know you are awesome, you are beautiful, you are just amazing. You are a god and a goddess walking in the game of life. Then, authentic selves focus on creations and their higher purpose. So they know why they are here, they know who they are, and they know their purpose. So those three questions are haunting humanity, because those questions you need to find for yourself. You need to go within to find. And you can do that through hypnosis and other techniques and just normal meditation. You get answers. Answers are all around us, all inside of us. They are here. Every question you ask, there is an equivalent answer to it. When you connect to who you truly are, to the field of consciousness. They are focused on going inwards in balance with the 3D reality game. So they know the 3D is an illusion to a certain extent. They know how the game of life works. They know they are here to experience certain themes that apply to their specific physical life. So they have chosen to play a game with certain themes that they are experiencing right now, and they know what they're going through is part of their story. Everyone has a unique story to tell. So the more they self-love, the more healthy they become. Because when you are a black hole being and you feel empty inside, what do? You try to fill the empty void with food, with smoking, with drugs, with weed, with alcohol, with workaholic, with working, with chasing external validation, with chasing status and prestige. That's all what black hole beings are doing. They are chasing and never achieving. Never are they home, because home is within. Home is already here. It's just buried under your false mask, under your false self. The fuel of a fulfilled being is love and oneness. So they love themselves, and they know that the self, they will benefit mostly if they will benefit others. You will benefit more if you serve others than only serving yourself. I will repeat this fact. You will receive more by serving others than only yourself. Because when you only serve yourself, you are trapped into the fear and separation, the illusion of separation, and that reinforces the black hole and disregards the oneness of all. When you serve others, you confirm that you are one with all, and any person you come across is a reflection of your consciousness, and you are one. You know you are the other. You know the other is you, so you will never harm others the way a black hole being harms others. You will never harm nature the way a black hole being keeps destroying nature. You will be balanced and loving towards nature. And that is how we make a better world happen. I gotta say, the process of going from a black hole being to a fulfilled being is painful. It's very painful. Especially when you don't know what's going on. You think your life is being destroyed because you are identified with a false sense of self. And you don't know you are worthy beyond measure without all those things. You are so worthy. You are so worthy, and you don't even feel the need to be superior or inferior to others, because that's both the false sense of self. Drop it completely. Equality. Everything is equal. You have equal value. Your ego will tell you otherwise, but you have equal value to anything that lives on this earth. Anything in creation, you have equal value. And everything in creation is value, otherwise it wouldn't exist. And you have value because you exist. And when a black hole being tells you you are worthless and you are not good enough, you don't listen. Because they are in the illusion, they are stuck. They are stuck in their own little hell. You are in heaven. You are in heaven here. You won't listen to the black hole being because it will destroy you. Destroy your happiness, health, and your life. So never give them your power. Never. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing. And stay powerful. Because you are.